Welcome to the Week 3 edition and 5th episode of the Fantasy Flourish podcast Home League edition. We are here to discuss Week 2 and preview Week 3. I am your host, Ben. I am joined, as always, by Matt. We have, Matt, this is obviously jumping ahead, but we have some serious players sending in applications to be future celebrity guest pickers for our picks of the week. So stay tuned on that. We've got some big names potentially coming to the podcast. So keep an eye out for that. But we are going to review week 2 before we talk about our week 3 picks. Last week we had me versus my father, Mook. I took the win 168.96 to 149.30. Mook, one of the league's highest scores of the week, and does not get a win. So that is unfortunate for him. We had Allen, 163.1 over Mando, 90.86. Mando, lowest scorer of the week. Tough scene for Mando. Real 0-2, tough start. We had Matt taking his second win in just dramatic fashion over Snake, 106.3 to 106.1. Matt pulls out the win by 0.2 points with Trey Lance at quarterback. Absolutely insane win for Matt. Potential game and win of the year candidate right there. Like we might have just got win of the year in week 2. Like that award when we do the Moodle Awards. I mean that might already, that might already win. Might already win game of the year. I mean, absolutely insane.
Snake might win best performance in a drama after he rages at this loss.
100%. Ricky getting the win in the first ever Battle of Belfort, 154.8 to 106.7. Taking his brother to school there, Ricky was. I mean, Chuck is a seasoned veteran in this league, former Super Bowl champion, and the new kid on the block is just he's off to a roaring start here. And then marquee matchup. This is where, so as you can see above our faces there, Matt has 17 points, I have 14 points. This is the big differential. The week 2 marquee matchup, Eric with just an emphatic win. Just windmill dunking it right on my head after I picked Swarley. 221.6 to 113. I mean, that might be the most points scored in any week, 221. That's a lot of points in this league. So, huge win for Eric there. And he also has put in a claim because he has Derwin James on his team. So, Matt, you and I obviously are working on the Triple S, the Snake scoring system for next season, which we will dive into that in future episodes. But Eric has Derwin James, so he made a request that body slams be worth bonus points because he body slammed Travis Kelce on Thursday Night Football last week. So.
Yeah, and I don't know if you said this because I cut out because my internet went in and out. It's been doing it all day, but we talked, Friday morning, and you're like, oh, yeah, my marquee matchup pick looks good with Herbert and Mike Williams on Thursday night. And
yeah, it was a great comeback, and he just dunked on my head. I mean, I have nothing else to say. Yep. Eric just absolutely owned me last week, but that is the week 2 results. We will head over to the standings after 2 weeks of action. Eric is in first after that big week, most points 4, and it's not even really close after that week. So Eric, defending champ, first place. Second place is Ricky. Third place is Matt. I'm in 4th place. Allen is in 5th. Swarley in 6th. And Juck in 7th. All of those 4th through 7th, all 1-1. 3 teams 2-0, being Eric, Ricky, and Matt. And then clinging for dear life onto the last playoff spot in 8th place is Mook at 0-2. Somehow still in the playoff hunt right now. And then the bottom of the barrel, 9th and 10th, Snake in 9th, Mando in 10th. 3 0-2 teams. So it's going to be a battle to see who's going to be the last winless team. Matt, do you have any bold prediction on who the last winless team will be before we move on here?
I think it's got to be Mando, man. Snake's roster still, I think, too good. Mando's so banged up.
Mando has just got the injury bug early.
But then again, Mook, and we'll get into it. Mook made a big waiver wire move today. I don't know what he's doing. He's got other guys he could have dumped, but we'll talk about that. I have a waiver claim in for him. Sadly, I'm in the 7th spot, but so I don't think I'm gonna get him. But yeah, I mean, do you just want to go into that right now?
Yeah, so that we'll segue that into the league transactions after week 2. And look, Mook he was not happy, right? I mean, puts up 160 and can't get a win, can't get off the schneid after 160. And he was not happy. He went on just a flurry of moves here. So I'm going to try. I mean, there's so many moves in this league. I believe that this is where we start. So I picked up Tua after his big week. Eric picked up Corey Davis and dropped Darnell Mooney. I mean, Darnell Mooney and the Bears, I mean, you and I were joking prior to this podcast that they're running the Perry Panthers wing T offense. I mean, this is insane. They're just not throwing the ball. So that's a fine move. Swarley picks up Gerald Everett, dropping Robert Woods. You picked up Derek Carr in place of Trey Lance, who obviously went on IR. Trey Lance, hopefully speedy recovery over there. Mando listens to my advice. He was asking about tight ends. I said I liked Irv Smith this week, so he picks up Irv Smith, and I believe he's going to probably start Irv Smith this week. And then the flurry of moves from Live PD, Mook right here. Picking up Paris Campbell after he got 0 points last week is an interesting strategy. Sterling Shepard, good pickup, dropping Austin Hooper. He's shedding off some of these excess tight ends. Sterling Shepard, good pickup, I think. Picked up Jacoby Myers. This is the big one. Picked up Jacoby Myers and dropped Jerry Jeudy. He uttered the words to me on Sunday when Jerry Jeudy exited that game that he was just completely done with Jerry Jeudy. Didn't care if he came back in the game. He was just done with Jerry Jeudy. So for whatever reason, there's a personal vendetta from Mook against Jerry Jeudy, and he has been dropped. And I believe he will be a hot waiver wire pickup.
Yeah, I'm sure. Do you have a waiver claim in for him?
I'm pretty sure I'm below you because I used a waiver on Tua. So
No, I also used a waiver on
okay.
Derek Carr, which I shouldn't have. So
Okay.
you're gonna. I think I'm 7th, but what are you?
Yeah, I'm not
You're
sure.
5th.
I haven't worked the phones and called agents to see if any teams
Yeah, I mean,
had waiver picks in on him. So
maybe we should throw Snake a bone since I might text him after this, be like, hey, Judy's on the waiver wire. You might want to go scoop him up just because he's been dealing with Cole Kmet.
Yeah, we will see. Mook also picked up Marcus Mariota, dropping David Njoku. And then Eric picks up Savage Slime, Noah Brown, and drops Tyler Boyd. So that is the week 2 transactions. Before we head to the week 3 picks, which is what you all came here for, we have to hand out a new segment on the podcast. New segment. I'm going to throw the image up on the screen here. It is our Wonka Wote of the week for week 2. Obviously, I'm going to splice the video in at some point here on one of these videos, but the iconic scene of Gene Wilder telling Charlie Bucket that he gets nothing and he loses. So our Wonka Wote of the week, as you can see on the screen there, Snake's face. What is your thoughts on Snake here, Matt? Because I think he deserves to win this award for a flurry of reasons. One of which, losing to you in which your quarterback had 2 points, is even though he can't control anything, I mean, it's tough to come back from that. But we also have an issue with Snake just with his strategy of how he sets his lineups in. He says he always has to start his studs, but most of the time when he says that to us, the people he's benching are also studs. So just what's your thoughts on Snake's just roster construction and the fact that you beat him with like no quarterback?
Yeah, the no quarterback thing, like you can't ever let that happen. I don't care. Like he's like, oh, Jonathan Taylor had 7 points. Like my quarterback had 2, man. Like position players are so much more volatile than quarterbacks. I don't know. Just pulled out all the excuses, but yeah, like we went through his roster after draft night and he was reading it to us and he said Mahomes stud, CD stud, Deontay stud, Thielen stud, JT stud, Fournette stud. Gets to David Montgomery and says he's okay. And then he's got Josh Jacobs on his bench that says stud. Like, I don't know. Those guys aren't all studs. And then this spans a couple leagues.
We lost Matt. Matt's internet is gone. Yeah. So Snake, I don't know if Matt's coming back or not. So I'm gonna just chill him in this call here.
He's right. Crazy. They're gonna feed
There
him
you go.
ball.
Okay, you cut out.
Yeah, I know. I don't know
But
what's going on with
no, you're
this,
good.
man.
You're
I got
good. You're
that
back.
hamster. I'm renting your
You're
hamster
back.
out in the
Yeah, he's got the
Wi-Fi.
hamster on the wheel internet. But
So where did I cut out?
yeah, you were talking about how
Did I get through his
it
roster? Yeah,
spans multiple leagues here.
spans multiple leagues, and like he was complaining to you after you told him start Mike Williams because he's gonna get the ball this week, and he's like, "No, I'm not starting him. I got other studs I got to pick." In one league, what was it? It was like Mike Williams, Waddle, Deontay Johnson, and who was the other guy?
Debo, I think.
Debo. And I mean, for me, that's a no-brainer. I'm playing Debo and Mike Williams and Waddle, like, and I'm benching Deontay Johnson. But he thinks Deontay's a stud, which he is. But like, I sent you that picture when we were playing Fortnite earlier of Deontay Johnson's routes that he ran last week, and they're just gross. There's it's ugly, and I think he didn't play Waddle, and he was complaining to us on Sunday afternoon. He's like, "Why didn't I play Waddle? You guys didn't tell me to." And that's just bad.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
had to
bad.
quickly body bag him because Waddle was someone that I played in DFS a lot over the weekend, and Snake is not on the secret text chain because he wouldn't listen to my advice. But I quickly sent him a screenshot of a text I had sent on Saturday to two of my friends that said, the Ravens are already picking up backup DBs because their DBs are hurt. One of the worst teams in football last year, and yak allowed, obviously. Jalen Waddle is going to be just a yak machine in this Dolphins offense. And I put Waddle, after that text, I sent Waddle with the rocket ship emoji. What happened? Waddle went completely off. But Snake's not on that secret text chain because I don't think he would take that advice because he's got to put his studs in like Deontay Johnson, instead of Waddle in like the nut spot. But yeah, so he's our week 2 Wonka Woad of the week. Hopefully none of you guys end up on this image for next week. I don't think he's going to go back-to-back because I have a lot of conviction around Snake winning this week, which we'll get to in our week 3 picks.
Yeah.
So
I think early outlook for next week's What of the Week. If we had to call it now, it's got to be Mook because drops Jerry
I'm
Judy,
dropping
and
Jerry Judy.
if he plays, he's going. You have to fit him in one of your DFS lineups this week, just because of that whole narrative in this. Like, God is just going to strike Mook down with a Jerry Judy 10 for 150 and 2 touchdowns if he plays.
Well, what's even worse about it is Mook is a big red zone watcher now. He's kind of developed into that, which is good because that's the best thing to watch on Sundays. But the worst part about it is Denver plays on Sunday Night Football, so it's just an island game. So there will be no other games going on. He'll just be watching Jerry Judy go off if that is what happens on Sunday Night Football. So it could be a snake. It could be a Mook hits the exits early, and it's like an early bedtime on Sunday night for Mook. I think if Jerry Judy's going off because he just won't watch it. It's terrible luck. All right, let's get to the week 3 picks. First up in week 3, we have Eric versus Mando. Eric is favored after that just dominant week that he had last week. I have actually, so you have selected Eric as the big favorite here. I have went with the underdog, and I'm taking Mando to get his first win. So what's your thoughts on this match, and then I'll tell you why I think Mando can pull a win out.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see like why you think Mando can pull a win out. I guess maybe Burrow and Chase have an Allen and Diggs week, and Debo crushes, and I, I don't know. It's just Lamar's probably gonna have another big week. Cooper Kupp is going to feast. Um, I don't know. I'm not in all the numbers like you are. I'd love to be, but I don't know. Just looking at players and some of the matchups, I gotta go with Eric here. Like, I still don't know what I'm gonna get from Cam Akers. Like, he should get more run than he's been getting, in my opinion. But we'll see. And then I mean, if you don't have one of the tight ends outside of Andrews and Pitts and Kelsey and Waller, it's tough for me to be confident about a tight end. So at least that's where my head's at. I'm interested to hear what you're thinking though.
Yeah, so it's no doubts here that Eric has the better team. No doubts about it. But one, he completely just Vince Carter dunked on me last week. So we have to get some sort of vengeance here. So I need Mando to come through with a win here. But I don't like to have the same picks as you every week. And I think if there's one upset spot, other than one of the other ones I picked, I think it's probably this. Burrow and Chase are going to get loose here one of these weeks. I mean, they're 0-2, two bad losses. The Jets are terrible. If Amari Cooper with Brissett at quarterback is hanging, 9 or 10 with 100 and a touchdown on you, I think Jamar Chase will be fine. They don't have a pass. The issue with Burrow has been their line is so bad. The Jets really don't have a pass rush. Like, they don't have Micah Parsons coming at him. So I think Burrow and Chase are definitely going to get loose. I think Debo can do his thing. Obviously, Kupp is gonna go off like per usual, but Lamar has one of the tougher matchups that he'll see all season. Same with Andrews. And I think Jordan's team can pull it out here. Cooks, I think, is in a good spot as well. If he can get anything from like Akers and Jeff Wilson, that's gonna be the big thing. If he gets like his single digit fantasy points from those running backs, he's going to be screwed. But, I mean, you and I both are CPAT faders. Like, CPAT is just not going to keep this up.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
man.
he's not going to keep it up.
I don't understand how he scores.
Yeah, he's not going to keep it up. And then Aaron Jones, I mean, very good, but he had that massive, massive game last week. So maybe he has, like, a less of a game. And that game as a whole is really, really gross. I think the total on Tampa Green Bay is down to around 38 points. Yeah. Tampa's just running the ball into the ground with their offensive line injuries. So, bad matchup for Jones and just a gross game overall. So I think if this is a spot, I think this is a spot for Mando to win, because if he doesn't win this week, he might be the last team to get a win. Like, it might just be a run of losses.
Oh no, he plays your dad next week, so that could be the toilet. That could be the toilet bowl.
Potential marquee matchup of week 4 though, if they're both winless, because someone will come out of that game with a win. Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Second matchup, we have Matt versus Juck. Matt, this is you have made yourself your lead pipe lock of the week. I also have selected you to win this game. It's your matchup, so take the floor here. What are you seeing here against Jack?
Justin Jefferson might score more points than all of his wide receivers combined.
Yeah, it's the nut spot for Jefferson this week. Bounce back after that game, but highest over-under on the slate this weekend is Minnesota-Detroit. It's going to be a shootout. Really, really good spot for Jefferson for sure.
Yeah. We just talked about Tampa Bay game. Like, it could be ugly, but Dylan will still get some run, obviously. I mean, I would probably compare Dylan and Zeke pretty closely.
Fun fact, Xander Horvath, the Chargers fullback, has more fantasy points than Ezekiel Elliott this season.
Wow. That is a fun fact. Curtis Samuel, I mean, I slotted him into the flex this week. I don't really trust A-Rob. ETN, I wish I could trust. I wish they would just let him run loose, but J-Rob is what I thought and dreamed Cam Akers would be. I don't know. I like my guys more than what he's got going on. Like, I don't know what I'm going to get from Antonio Gibson. Dawson Knox could have a good week. He could also have 0 points. DK hasn't been great with Geno this year. Yeah, if Kamara plays, he's got to have a better week, especially against Carolina. But even if he doesn't, like, I think Mark Ingram would be fine. I think I got a little too much for Juck this week.
Yeah, I agree. Bad matchup for London. You and I were talking about this on Fortnite to Snake tonight, but up against Tariq Woolen. I'm not a big, wide receiver cornerback matchup guy, but that's a really bad matchup for him individually. Swift is great. DK tough spot for himself, but it's just kind of the offense in general. The Rams absolutely own Kyler Murray. I don't know if he's ever really had a good game against them, and their offense with Cliff is just so bad. You just can't expect a great game from him at this point in time because of the way that they're calling stuff. It's really weird. Yeah, I like your spot better. Kelsey in a really good spot against Indy. Like ceiling spots for Jefferson and Kelsey overall. But yeah, agree. A little too much. Next up, we have Swarley and Mook. So Mook obviously looking to get off the schneid, looking to get his first win of the season. We have both selected Swarley to win this game. I think he has a little bit too much as well, but this could be. I don't know. I could see Mook having a day here. So he's got Tyreek in expected shootout against Buffalo, right? Yep. He's got McCaffrey can do McCaffrey things, and he's going to at some point. Nick Chubb, could do Nick Chubb things on a short week, Thursday Night Football. 22, 23 plus touches for Nick Chubb is in play on Thursday night. And, he's been great. So definitely, I could see his guys having some good weeks here. But Swarley, if Herbert plays, like Herbert to Mike is just so good. He also, Keenan could miss again. And we talked about how good Mike Williams is without Keenan. That's a factor. Dalvin is going to get going at some point here. Good matchup against Detroit.
He can't suck forever.
Yeah, yeah. Good spot for Dalvin. Good spot for Devontae against Tennessee, who's terrible. Their top corner, Christian Fulton, he's out. They could look to get him going after he caught 2 balls last week. Yep. Against Arizona, so they could just feed Devontae early in that game. So agree, a little too much Swarley, but might be close. We'll have to wait and see. Mook's got the triple Thursday night stack: Minka, Myles Garrett, and Nick Chubb. So he should have a decent lead going into Sunday.
Yeah, he'd win if he'd have kept Judy.
Oh my, yeah. Could you imagine if that happened? I hope that doesn't happen, dude. He'll lose full. That would just be. That'd be tough. Good matchup for Dallas Goedert too. So that I think that's going to be closer than the Yahoo projections have at 145.9 to 127.5. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that, but we will see. We then have myself favored over Ricky. Ricky 2-0, second place. I'm in fourth place. I like myself to win here. You picked me as well, I believe. Is that correct?
I did. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. We talked about it last week. I think I hit on all these guys. I didn't want to draft. I'm really mad though because I didn't want to draft Derrick Henry, but he was just there. I picked 9th and he was just there, so I just kind of took him. He's been horrific, man. Absolutely dreadful. The offensive line is bad. The play calling is bad. There's no weapons. There's just nothing. Just nothing going for Derrick Henry.
Yeah. So if I know hindsight's 20/20, but imagine if you steal Diggs from old Ricky here and slot Diggs into this team and no Henry and have CEH or whoever else.
Yeah, I didn't want to take him.
So
but,
scary, Diggs and Waddle and
yeah. I liked so many of these. I got all the guys I wanted. I wanted Amon-Ra, I wanted Sutton, I wanted Waddle. I just got the guys I wanted. But yeah, really just scary stuff with Henry. The end could be here for him. He only has 107 rushing yards this season, and I know we talk about some stats. I saw a tweet today rushing yards over expectation is a good stat to look at for running backs, but he actually and then rushing yards under expectation. So Henry actually has 40 yards over what he should have, and he only has 100 yards, and he's got 40 more than what he should have. It's just a tough scene for Derrick Henry.
Yeah, it's ugly.
But Barkley on Monday Night Football, Pitts. I feel really good about Pitts this week with London on Tariq Woolen. Amon-Ra. I call this year's Cooper Cup is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Is just gonna go off. Good matchup in that shootout. Waddle obviously in a shootout as well. I need something from Russell Wilson, man. He has been not good. They're not scoring at all in the red zone though. You would think at some point that's gonna turn around. So
you just scooped up Tua. Why not throw him in that shootout?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
San Fran.
I'm thinking about it. We'll see what happens. Ricky.
Yeah,
He's got, it's tough to go against Allen and Dig. Like, he's going to do what they do. It's similar to Mando with Burrow and Chase. Like, when they go off like they have the first 2 weeks, he's going to win when he's getting 70, 80 a pop from 2 guys. But, are they going to do that every week? No. Are they good? Yes. But they're not going to combine for 75 points every single week, dude.
Yeah.
It's
it's
a
like
good bet. It's a bounce back
that,
spot for Mixon, though. He definitely, this is going to be, me and him is going to be close, I think, for sure.
Yeah, he's got that core four: Allen, Diggs, AJ Brown, and Mixon. After that, it's like some holes, some question marks. But yeah, this could be close. It's just like the shootout in Buffalo. Like, does Diggs score 50 points again? Like, I know he won me a matchup last week. I needed 43 and got 44, and I could see them going for 80 plus again this week, but I don't know if it's that likely.
Yeah, so we'll finish up here the week 3 marquee matchup. Allen versus Snake. This is Snake coming off a Wonka Woe to the Week award, looking for his first win. Allen has a really good team, and you and I differ on this game. I have selected Snake to win. You have selected Allen to win. I also have selected Snake as my lead pipe lock. I'm going for all the bonus points. Give me the upset. Although I think he's favored now, right? After the projections updated. So
Yeah.
But give me Snake in the marquee matchup, lead pipe lock. What's your take on this game? And then I'll give you my take on Snake. Because I there's no way Snake, he can't start 0-3. And, we didn't talk about it handing out. This is another factor that went into his Woe of the Week award. This guy retired at the end of the first quarter of the 1 o'clock games last Sunday. He messaged in our group chat, and he basically said, I'm retiring from fantasy football. And then by the time the third quarter comes around, he's unretired. So I don't know if he's mentally there. Hopefully he got a good sit down over the weekend and talked to his squad. But, I mean, he's retiring on a whim. Like, what is going on with Snake this year, do you think?
We talked about it. He takes his studs, which aren't studs, and then complains. It's before I deleted my couple quick notes. I said that we get to week 2, week 3, week 4 every year, and we'll talk to Snake, and he's complaining, oh, why did I take 3 straight running backs? I need to take receivers. I need to take whoever. And it's the same every year. We tell him, take receivers early. So you got to take whatever. And he's like, nope, got to stick to my guys, my running backs. I need running backs. And then now he's, like he has for the last 4 or 5 years, just pivoted to, I need receivers. I'm changing my strategy next year. And we'll roll around in August and I'll be like, nope, top 25 guys or running backs. And so it's
Yeah,
just
and we
never
can
ending.
confirm, we got confirmation that the first 17 players in his rankings for this year's draft were all running backs. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, and like in this matchup, like
Cole
I
Kmet
know,
has not scored a fantasy point all year,
yeah,
and he
and
says he's riding them till he gets
he
15 plus points.
he flag planted on Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet might not have 15 points all
He
year.
said, what did he say? 8 over 102 touchdowns. I said the Bears might not even throw the ball 8 times.
Yeah, I mean Kmet might not have 15 points all year. So I don't
It's those
know.
damn
Like
talking heads, man. Come on.
he said he's got Mahomes big time over Jalen Hurts. I don't think so. I mean, Hurts is like top
Yeah,
2
these
fantasy
these
quarterback. Like,
projections are off also on
yeah.
Yahoo. I don't think that Yahoo projects per your scoring system in your league, but I don't know. These are off. Jalen Hurts is probably, if I looked at our projections on our website, he's probably the top projected quarterback for the week. I would
Yeah.
him and Josh Allen would be both above Mahomes.
Yep. And like Higgins against the Jets, Pittman in shootout against KC, Gabe Davis in a shootout with Miami. I like his receivers better than John's. Like Thielen was dust for like 6 quarters and then came to life. Like I don't know if he's completely lost it, but we'll see. He said it's another good spot for that game. Deontay Johnson, I know I talked about his routes that he ran. Like, it was ugly. I sort of expect somewhat of a bounce back from Cleveland's guys. Like, I don't know. It's just Mitch isn't really that much better than Big Ben. CD with Cooper Rush, like, that's tough. Fournette questionable. Jonathan Taylor will be fine. Komet's going to get another whopping 0. He might fumble the ball and get negative points, and then that'll send John off the rails.
Could you imagine if his tight end got negative points? He'd retire again. He's already retired once. He's doing the Brett Favre. He's going to retire, unretire, retire, unretire. It's going to be a...
Yeah. He actually might retire there. David Montgomery, I mean, if the Bears run the ball 40 times, that's right up Snake's alley.
And Snake, when you watch this, you need to call into the show because we need to know why you retired. I mean, it was so instant. We hadn't even gotten to halftime of the 1:00 games, and he was giving his retirement speech already. Why did you retire? Confused.
Yeah. And I just think Allen, like, Eckler will get a little more involved at some point. Najee can't be that bad for the entire year. Waller's in a good spot against the Titans. Christian Kirk's been really good all year. I don't know. I think Allen's guys
team
might
is
have
unfair. I mean,
he's got DJ Moore on the bench too. Remember,
there's no way around it. But he's got the bad karma from the ripoff trade that he made. Yep. That's the only thing holding him back. If he didn't have that bad karma surrounding him, it would be just a buzzsaw. I mean, his team is it's insane.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I think Allen's team is better at the end of the day. I do. But just 6-time Super Bowl champion cannot start 0-3. And maybe that retirement, maybe that fake retirement fired his guys up. You know, maybe his players are going to come out and show their support for their coach and really just put a show on Sunday. I hope so, because I've selected him to win. So,
just for our amusement, though, I hope he just drops a dud, like 70 points negative from Komet, and then we just get to hear about it all week. Oh my.
Do you think right now 10-team league, 8 make the playoffs? Will Snake be battling for the 8th seed? Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes, I think it's gonna be a big battle between the bottom 4 right now. Like, Juck's roster's pretty ugly. Mando's dead.
Juck has worked his way now. It was a 3-horse race, I believe, going into last season or last week of Mook, Snake, Mando. Juck has now worked his way into that conversation. It's a 4-team race for the 7th and 8th seed, I think.
Yeah, and like, who does Juck play? Oh, yeah, he plays me. Like, if they're 1-2, 0-3, 0-3 to start the year, like, that's tough.
It's real tough to come out of a hole like that, man. It really is.
Yeah,
really is
for sure.
But yeah, so that wraps up our week 3 picks. Like I said, if you guys would like to come on as a guest picker one week, we have a pretty nasty list lining up. Multiple celebrities, multiple verified check marks on Twitter have messaged me about coming on to pick for our league. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys after week 3.